Well, we certainly know change is on the horizon for the real estate industry as a result of the recent NAR settlement. It's going to impact both buyers and sellers. Two things that we absolutely know so far is, number one, the sellers are no longer going to be obligated to pay a buyer's agent's commission. It's going to be a negotiation point, kind of like it already is. Two, the listing agents are no longer going to be allowed to post a pre-negotiated buyer's agent commission on the MLS. Now, while change is certainly something that brings a lot of fear and uncertainty and often pain, as a mortgage lender, let's kind of go back a little bit and see what we've gone through in the last 20 years that I've been in the mortgage industry. 2008 Mortgage Reform Act. That was about as scary as it can get. They completely stripped down the mortgage industry and rebuilt it. In the end, though, I will say it was good. That change was good. Why? Because it aligned the mortgage industry regulations with consumer interests. It definitely needed to happen. 2015, TILA, RESPA Integrated Disclosure Act, TRID. That was about as painful as a change can get as to how you do your job as a mortgage lender, because the federal government stepped in and changed every form that we work with and even added in a mandatory wait period on all mortgage financed transactions. Again, very painful, very scary, loaded with lots of uncertainty, but looking back at it, it brought the mortgage industry again more in line with consumer interests. So while change is certainly scary and painful and full of uncertainty, let's kind of talk about what we can expect going forward. Now, in my opinion, I don't see a whole lot changing. Why? As a mortgage professional with 22 years in the industry, I would never go and buy a house, or would I sell a house without a qualified real estate agent representing me. And let's just look at some data. The data will prove sellers almost always get a higher sales price when they use a qualified listing agent to sell their home. And then if you think about it from a buy side, buyer's agents can find homes that we consumers simply do not have access to. There's just things that we can't see. And what are those full-time buyer's agents going to do for you? They're going to be shopping the market. They'll go and preview homes without you while you're at work, right? They're going to even not only negotiate for you as you go into your contract, which is, by the way, a full-time job. I've watched buyers and listing agents go back and forth, and they're doing some high-level negotiations. They write legally binding contracts with all kinds of protection mechanisms built into it. A very qualified buyer's agent is at the home for you during all of these inspection periods, again, while you're at work, okay, doing what you do so that they can represent you. They're going to make sure that these qualified professionals inspect your home. You're going to find out everything about it before you commit to buying it. And then they're going to draft these legally binding contracts that have wait periods and time periods that are inside of there, and make sure that you are protected every step of the way while you're buying a home. It's my opinion that the real estate and mortgage lending industry are going to work together to adapt to these changes and overcome. We will find ways to make sure that everybody receives the representation they need while still keeping the industry intact. So again, I think it's extremely valuable that both buyers and sellers receive qualified real estate agent representation. We will figure this out. We will overcome and adapt, and this too shall pass.